Hi, everybody. It's Kim. I'm back again to rant. Uh, Doing my rant a day early because I felt really compelled to kind of talk about two things in particular that have they're kind of sitting on me right now. And maybe if I rant about it, I'll feel a little better about it. Um, had a conversation recently with a person about Rush Limbaugh's attempt to buy or partly buy the St. Louis Rams in the NFL. My personal opinion is that if Rush Limbaugh has the money, then he should be able to buy the team. Simple as that. Now it's on the players if they choose to play for them, but that's another story. I think that he is within his rights to have ownership of an NFL team if he can afford it. It's America, right? So this person whom is non-black, this person is Jewish, and I'm not so sure what the political correctness of this is. So if I'm erroneous in any way, I encourage somebody to please correct me. But I don't know if Jew is white. Is that white? I know it's a religion, but I don't know. I don't know how Jewish people perceive themselves ethnically. Let's put it that way. So this person said to me that he didn't feel that Rush Limbaugh is racist, and he says you can pull the transcripts and prove that Rush Limbaugh is not racist. Well, listen, if that person feels that Rush Limbaugh is not racist, then they are perfectly within their rights and their opinion to feel so. But it is well documented and well known and well evidenced that Rush Limbaugh's comments tend to upset people of color, minorities. You know what I mean? Rush Limbaugh called President Obama Barack the Magic Negro. He likened Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor as the cleaning lady. He spoke about the NFL. He said that they look like Bloods and Crips on the field without the weapons. He said I'm not Barack Obama. He said Donovan McNabb was overhyped as a quarterback and the media wanted a black quarterback to succeed. Just forget the fact that Donovan quarterbacked the Eagles to 3 NFC championship games. Now, granted, they didn't go to the Super Bowl, but to get to the game before the Super Bowl, I think that makes you a decent quarterback. And I kind of found it a little disturbing because, there are people, black people, such as Reverend Al Sharpton and Reverend Jesse Jackson, who have made unpopular, offensive comments about whites and other groups. Specifically, Reverend Jackson at one point referred to the Jewish people as Hymies, and he called New York City Hymie Town. Now, I don't know what Hymie is. I don't know what that means, but I know enough to know that that is offensive to Jewish people. So I would never say to a Jewish person that Reverend Jackson is not an anti-Semite because he's made comments that have offended that group. Now, whether or not I think he's racist is really irrelevant. It's people's perception. So I would never be as insensitive to say that Reverend Jackson is not an anti-Semite to a Jewish person because I know that they may feel that way about him. So consequently, my feelings were a little hurt by this person saying to me that Rush Limbaugh was not a racist when I have been quite offended by a lot of the things that Rush Limbaugh has said. And it just kind of floored me a little bit. And the thing about it is, you may know me, you may not know me, but know this. I grew up with white people. I have lots of white friends. Just know that if one of my white friends were to say to me that they didn't think Rush Limbaugh was racist, it would crush me. It probably would. And I don't know. Like, I just go back to, and this is, I don't know if I'm digging too deep here, but I remember in high school, a white girl that was on my volleyball team very casually called me the N-word, like in front of the whole team. And she didn't even say it with malice. Like it was sort of to the fact that, like, hey, we're number one. We're not quitters. Kim's so good because she's a nigger. It's like, what? Really? Anyway, that's my point about that. Be sensitive to other people. I think that's kind of the point I'm trying to get at. And secondly, Tuesday afternoon in Washington, D.C., specifically in Clay Terrace, Northeast Washington, D.C., in broad daylight, middle of the afternoon, two teenage boys were gunned down and murdered in the street, and their murderers have not been found. 15-year-old Devonte Artis, who is described by his teachers as being very quiet and well-mannered, and 18-year-old, what is this young man's name? Oh, Daquan Tibbs. Police, according to police, they were innocent bystanders. They were not involved in this beef. And the police have had a very difficult time getting people to come forward and offer up information to help track down their killers. Which goes back to something in the Black community that is called stop snitching. Now, if you're not familiar with stop snitching basically means do not talk to the police under any circumstances about anything for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think that the Black community is mistrustful of the police, and that is historical because a lot of times in civil rights movement, the police were the ones that would maybe do you the most harm if you were getting out of line, right? And second, because of the intimidation that goes on in a lot of our urban neighborhoods with people who do talk to the police. There was an incident a couple years back in Baltimore where a family of like 6 or 7 people who was tired of the murders in their community, was tired of the selling of crack and heroin on their doorstep, cooperated with the police, and they were executed by the drug dealers or whoever. And it's unfortunate because what stop snitching really does, stop snitching keeps murderers amongst us. Stop snitching keeps robbers, keeps people that will come up to you with a pistol, put it to your body, and demand your property and will shoot you if they feel like it. That keeps those people walking amongst us. That keeps child molesters amongst us. And I'm going to define what I mean by child molester is, you could say a child molester is an adult who touches a child, a little child. But I also look at a child molester as that guy who's 25, who's sleeping with that 13 or 14-year-old. You're a child molester, in case you didn't know. Let me be the first to tell you that yes, you molest children. And if you know about it, and if you're associated with this person, you know that this grown man is sleeping with this young girl, and you don't say anything, you're harming us. You're destroying us. And it's hard for white America to have empathy for the Black community when we don't even get the domestic terrorists out of our own communities. Why do we protect these people? Why? Because that's your cousin? Because that's your homie? Is that why you protect him? You know that he done shot and killed somebody that was innocent and he deserves to walk amongst us? He needs to be behind that wall, for real. And until we get it together and understand that the white man is not responsible for all of the ills that trouble the Black community, when we understand that we need to accept responsibility, even on that level of making that phone call, I saw who shot these two young boys. His name is this, and he lives here, and I saw him. Get him out of there, y'all. That's all I got to say. So my rant today was two sides of the same coin, so to speak. So I hope you don't get too mad at me, anybody. And excuse me. Again, like I said, feel free to I need to be corrected. Enlighten me on some things if there's some things that I am wrong about, okay? Thank you.